y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another bi-weekly reading vlog. Today I'm going to start off a little bit different, and when I'm talking about the books that I'm reading, I'm going to try to talk a little bit more about what the book's about so you get an idea. Instead of just that I'm reading it, I'm trying to be more substantive in my videos so you guys can get an idea of what these books are actually about. So this week, I'm starting this week off reading Seasons of Abaddon. This is my self-pub book for this month. This is kind of like dark fairy tales, like reminds me of the Grimm fairy tales. We have 4 seasons and 4 point of views. An aspiring enchantress searches for a way to lift a terrible curse. A drunken father makes a dangerous wish. A foreman tilts the balance between nature and progress. And a mother travels with her dying child in search of a healer. Right now, this is sitting at a 4-star for me, but I am really looking forward to seeing how this book ends. I'm less than 100 pages away, so I'm hoping to finish it today. Looking forward to seeing how all these stories kind of come together. They all take place in the same world, the same town, but from 4 very different people. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this all wraps up. One quote for you from Seasons of Abaddon: progress comes at a cost. Next up, I am still reading On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. This book is, like I've said before, it's an interesting premise of a book because it reads like nonfiction, but it is fiction. It's essentially a letter from a child to a mother, and it's, the kid was raised in the US, he's American, but his family is Vietnamese, and he's writing about essentially what it was like growing up with these 2 Vietnamese women, his mother and his grandmother, and the stories that they would tell of, the Vietnam War and all of this stuff. And it's just, it's a really interesting premise for a novel. It reads very, very much like nonfiction. And I am not sure, where the lines cross on where it's fiction and where it's nonfiction. But it's a beautiful story, and it's haunting in its accuracy. Just like this quote I have: he was only 9, but had already mastered the dialect of damaged American fathers. And that, in such a haunting way, summarizes so many bullies growing up, and it just haunts you how accurate it is. Right now, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous is sitting at a 4.5-star for me, but we'll see where it goes as I continue reading. And then the last book I'm currently reading is Knife of Dreams by Robert Jordan, book 11 in the Wheel of Time series. And of course, this is way deep into the Wheel of Time series, so I'm not going to really go over what it's about because that'll give spoilers for the rest of this series. But we follow our main characters on their journeys throughout this whole epic adventure experience. This one is sitting at a 3.5, 4-star for me. I'm maybe a quarter of the way through this one. I'm enjoying this one definitely more than Crossroads and Twilight, but we'll see if that continues as I continue. And one quote from Knife of Dreams is, in his dreams he wept for the death and destruction. And he that this quote is talking about, you don't normally see this level of emotion from this character. And so this quote really stood out to me because it brings a new layer to this character. So that's my reading right now, and I'll check in with you guys again very soon. Bye. Hey y'all, so I've got a reading update for you now. This morning I finished On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. And as you can see, I highlighted a lot of quotes in here. But this book for me was so hard to give 100% honest review. I used my CallPile system, but this book is totally different than a lot of the other books that I have read this year. I ended up giving this one 3.5 out of 5 stars because while the writing was absolutely beautiful, and the characters were great and the atmosphere and setting was absolutely fantastic, the plot, for me, it felt like there wasn't really a plot at all. And if you're claiming this to be a novel, I need a plot. It doesn't have to be a strong plot. You know, there are some books that are plot driven and some books that are character driven. My perfect book, I would say, for me, is a book that is in the middle, that has both great character driven and plot driven. But I need some kind of a plot, and the only thing that I could find in this book as far as story-wise or plot-wise was it is about a man who's in his 20s writing a letter to his mom who can't read and basically discovering his family history and himself. And it doesn't feel like it really goes anywhere. And it's really weird to say that because this book was beautiful, but it just fell for me. Which is really disappointing. But I did finish this. This was my patron pick for December. Thank you, Stephanie, again. I really did enjoy this book. I just went in with very different expectations. So now that I finished that book, I'm going to do something new right now. And because really on my December TBR, I have either finished or started all of the books on the TBR. I'm going back to my past TBRs. So in this little Christmas bowl, I have titles of all of my, or probably more realistically to say, almost all of the books that I was supposed to read in past TBRs from this year and last year, maybe the year before that. I don't remember when I started this. And they're all written on individual slips of paper. As you can see, some are bigger than others. I have no idea what's what. I'm just going to randomly draw a title out of here, and that will be the next book I start today, hopefully today. Like I said, this is from past TBRs, and I am really excited to. So going forward this month, whenever I finish a book, we're going to draw a book out of here, and I'm going to try to remember to do it on screen for you all, on camera. And, you know, I may need to go and do a little bit of research and find out why this was on my TBR and whatnot. So I might have delayed reactions to the books that I pick. But I will definitely keep you guys updated. So without further ado, I have mixed these up so it's not all of the most recent ones on top. And we're just going to go ahead and pick. We'll pick this one. Whatever this one is. Let's see. Valperga, and I think if I remember right, that was one of the Mary Shelley books that I hadn't gotten to. Like I said, I'll have to go and look that up because it just has the title on it. It doesn't have the author's name, but I think that was one of the Mary Shelley books. So that is really exciting because I've wanted to get back to Mary Shelley's books in so long and I haven't been able to. So if Valperga is one of Mary Shelley books, I'm so excited for that draw. And I can't wait to draw more as I finish books. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Hey y'all, one last check-in for you guys on this bi-weekly reading vlog. Also, our last check-in for the year. Today is December 23rd, so I will say here and foremost, Merry Christmas, and thank goodness for the end of 2023, y'all. I can't wait for 2024. See what the new year has in store for us. I have some amazing reads already lined up for 2024, and I cannot wait. So to start off this last bi-weekly reading vlog for the year, I've got a mini book haul for y'all because I've been getting some Christmas mail in. I've been getting mail from authors. I can't wait to share it with y'all. First and foremost is book mail from an author, and this book is absolutely gorgeous. So this started off as I put out a call for people's favorite Kindle Unlimited reads to make a list of books that I wanted to get on Kindle Unlimited as I make my way through some books. this book came up, and then the author reached out and said, hey, would you mind if I sent you a hardcover copy of this? I didn't know how beautiful this book was going to be until it arrived yesterday, but it's gorgeous. And I also didn't realize that until he sent it that he's from the UK, so I doubly, triply appreciate this because I know how much shipping can be from the UK to here. So our first book in my little mini book haul is Renia. I'm not sure if I said that right or not. This is book 1 in the Lunar Renium series by Carl Forshaw. So Carl, thank you so much for sending me this. This book is absolutely gorgeous. It is just, it wraps around all the way to the back, which y'all know I love when a book does that. Just that cover is gorgeous, but then we have these amazing black sprayed edges. I absolutely love the look of this book. Our hardcover is like a deep purple, which is incredible. I love it when they're so different. And then we open it up to the title page, and Carl signed it for me, personalized it, and I love it. Dear Kate, thanks for taking a chance on my weird little book, Best Wishes, Carl Forshaw. And this is book number 61 out of 331 printed. So this is a limited edition. I had no idea I was going to get this big fancy book. Thank you so much, Carl. I really look forward to reading this in 2024. Next up, we have a book from a friend who has, since she sent me this book, I've learned that she's passed away. She's a dear friend of a lot of people on BookTube, and that's Sharon Dwyer. I received No Land for Heroes by Cal Black from Sharon, and I posted a thank you note to Sharon like I usually do because Sharon always remembers my birthday and Christmas. She always sends me at least one book. And then I found out that she had passed just like the day before, and so this book is so special to me on so many levels because it's from Sharon right before she died, and because it's Cal Black, and this is a series. Ever since I read Shattered Spirits by Cal, I've been looking forward to this series, and ever since I heard Leslie just absolutely rave about this series, I've wanted to read this series, so this is definitely going on my early 2024 to read list. Next up, we have a book from Finland, and that's from Stacy and her family, Moomin Papa's Memoirs. Thank you, Henry, for picking this out for me. I can't wait to read more Moomin books because if you've seen my reviews before, you know I absolutely love this little family. They're adorable, and I've actually wanted to read this one since I read the others, so I can't wait to read Moomin Papa's Memoirs next year. And then the last book on my little book haul is from Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative, and that's Briefcases by Jim Butcher. This is the other collection of short stories. I was reading this one, I think, from the library loan until this arrived, so I'm gonna add this right next to Side Jobs, the other short story collection, and now I'll be able to kind of catch up a little bit easier on our Dresden Files read along, which I'm absolutely loving. This is the first time I've been reading this series, and I'm reading all of the novels, plus the short stories and the graphic novels, and I love everything about this series. I can't wait to continue on. So thank you to everyone who has sent me books this year. For Christmas and just in general, if you've sent me a book this year in 2023, I tried to acknowledge them all as they came in, but sometimes things got a little crazy and I forgot to acknowledge it in videos, but I tried to acknowledge it somewhere on social media, and if I forgot, I'm really sorry. It's not that I'm not grateful. I'm grateful for everything that you guys send me, all of your support, your continued watches, and your subscriptions, and especially thankful to my patrons who support me there every month. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who has supported me this year. Now, let's get down to the real business of this video. I have 2 books that I finished to check in on. I'll check in on my current reads, and then we're going to pick another book out of my TBR Christmas bowl. First, the books that I have finished. So the first book up is the first semi-finalist in the Sphinx Championship series. My team was allotted 5 books for the semi-round finals, and we are supposed to be putting through just 2 books for the finals. Each team is supposed to send on 2 books for the finals. The first book I finished for the semi-final round is A Sorrow Named Joy by Sarah Chorn. I absolutely love this book so much. This was a quiet book, science fiction. I can't really say much about it because it'll give away the book, but it's quiet, it's gentle, and it just hit the spot for me. It gave me things that I didn't know I needed until I read them. And so, Sarah, I know that you were concerned about this book. This was one of those, like Carl says, weird little books. Apparently I'm a weird little book reader now. But I absolutely loved A Sorrow Named Joy so much. I do think it's one of those books that's not going to be for everyone. But if it is for you, you will absolutely love it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and it's made me excited to get into more Sarah Chorn books, which I already had kind of on the stockpile for next year. And then the last book that I finished, I actually finished it this morning. That is The Knife of Dreams by Robert Jordan, book 11 in the Wheel of Time series. Y'all, I only have 3 more books in this series to go. I'm so excited. This was the last book that we got written by Robert Jordan. The next books are kind of, I believe Brandon Sanderson considers them a joint effort between Robert Jordan's notes that he left and Brandon Sanderson taking up the last 3 books. I can't wait to see where this series goes, and if I can spot some of the differences between Robert Jordan's writing and Brandon Sanderson's. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars, though I really enjoyed this one, but the middle part kind of felt a little bit unforgettable for me. Like, I don't remember what happens a lot in the middle, but the beginning and the ending were fantastic, and I can't wait to see where this story goes. So that leaves my current reads for this weekend, this holiday weekend, include Lost Books and Old Bones. This is part of the Scottish Bookshop mystery that I'm buddy reading with Stacy. We do 1 book every December, and it just feels like such the perfect December series. So this book is going really well. I'm hoping to finish this maybe this weekend, if not early next week. I am absolutely loving it. I love this series so much. It's so much fun. You have this little bookshop in Scotland, in Edinburgh, and our main character, she's an American that has moved there, and she just discovers these mysteries, and a lot of them are murders, that she somehow gets in the middle of, and it's all about figuring out who did it and why and where, and, all of the good mystery questions that you ask. And it's like a cozy mystery, and it's so much fun. I love it. I'm also reading Valperga, which is a historical fiction by Mary Shelley, back into Mary Shelley's writing. As you know, this was a book I picked from my TBR jar last check-in, and I wasn't quite sure which Mary Shelley book this was. So this is a historical fiction book that takes place in Italy, and I am really enjoying being back with Mary Shelley. But the thing with Mary Shelley's writing style is it's a writing style that you really have to pay attention to. You have to be on top of your game when you're reading this, or else you will feel a little bit lost. So I'm enjoying Valperga a lot, but it's a big book. It's over 400 pages, so I might not finish it by the end of the year, but I am enjoying it a lot. And my last current read for right now is my second semifinalist in the Sphinx Championship series. And nothing says Christmas like a necromancer called Gam Gam. This is by Adam Holcomb. I'm a couple chapters in, and I am loving this. The tone is perfect. The action is great. The characters are absolutely incredible. I am really, really loving Gam Gam and our main character. They are both absolutely fantastic characters, and I can't wait to see where this little novella goes. So that leaves drawing our last book for 2023, probably maybe from our TBR jar. So as you know, these are all books that I was supposed to get to in the past 2, maybe 3 years. titles written down here. No authors. Some like Valperga I may have to look up before you get my full reaction. But this will be the next book I start today after I'm done doing a couple errands. So I'm just mixing them up a little bit so the latest ones aren't just straight on top. And we'll see which one I get. This is the lucky one. Who is it going to be? Okay, we're going to put that one back because that's another Mary Shelley book. We can't be reading. That's not fair to all the other books. That was really funny, actually. Let's see. Okay. And that one says Dracula, and I was doing the Dracula dailies, so I'm going to just take that one out. And let's see, third time is the charm. What will be the lucky one this time? Bounty. Okay, yes, this was supposed to be my self-pub, my second self-pub book from November, I believe it was. This is by J.D. Culligan. So this is perfect timing because this will finish up my November TBR. So I am very excited to start in on Bounty again today. So that's it for now. That's it for this year. Of course, I'll be starting another reading vlog coming up later today for the next 2 weeks, but you all won't see that one until the new year. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I love you, and thank you all for your support as always. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.